Hey everybody, welcome to Brain Better. Today we're going to go over the danger of hustle culture and 5 signs you are trapped in it. Make sure to watch until the end of the video because recognizing the signs of hustle culture is extremely important and is the first step to getting out of the trap. Also, if you find this video value-adding, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to provide more values to you through our videos. Now let's get straight into our video today. 5 signs you are trapped in hustle culture. Hustle culture, which is also known as grind culture, refers to the mentality where one has to work hard constantly in an aggressive way to achieve their career goals. Those who embrace the hustle culture tend to put work or career goals at the center of their lives while allowing very little time or space for them to rest or do other things outside of work. For them, taking rest is intolerable. Slowing down is unbearable. No matter how successful or how wealthy they already are, they never stop. They believe that there's always more. There's always bigger goals to achieve. There's always more money to make. There's always bigger houses to buy. There's always more. Keep hustling, they'll tell you. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Those who embrace the hustle culture take pride in working long hours. Working non-stop without rest is like a badge of honor to them. Well, there's nothing wrong with working hard or being productive, but when does it become too much? Indeed, there is a fine line between being productive and hustling in an unhealthy way. So how do we spot it and escape from this unhealthy culture? Before we go into the signs of being trapped in hustle culture, it's important to first know the potential risks and dangers that come with it. First, it negatively impacts our mental health by causing burnout and anxiety. Hustle culture is both mentally and physically taxing in the long term. It can even lead to health issues due to lack of rest and prolonged stress. It's never sustainable in the first place. What's more interesting is that hustle culture will paradoxically lead to reduced productivity, and it can be detrimental to our work performance. So, before it robs us of our health and happiness, before it backfires, or before we unknowingly slip into the culture, we must recognize the signs early and get out of it before it's too late. Now let's go straight into the 5 signs of someone who is trapped in hustle culture. Number 1, you feel guilty whenever you take breaks. You feel like you haven't earned the right to take breaks because someone else, especially those who are more successful than you, are still working. In fact, working harder than you. Whenever you try to take breaks, there's always this condemning voice in your head telling you, "Hey, what are you doing? Taking breaks is a waste of time. It will slow you down. Everyone else is working harder than you. You have no right to rest. You haven't earned it." Taking breaks while somebody who is more successful than you is still hustling is simply unforgivable. You gotta make every minute count. There's no time to waste. You cannot afford to rest. You have to be efficient and productive. Sound familiar? As convincing as all this condemnation seemed to be, the truth is we need rest. And as ironically as it sounds, resting, doing nothing at all, and getting bored can actually get bigger things done. According to neuroscientists, when we allow the space for our brain to rest, to do nothing at all, and to get bored, that's when magic really happens. Our brain will enter into a default mode, which opens doors to creativity and brilliant ideas. So next time when you feel stuck, when you run out of ideas, get bored. It's a sign of your body crying out for rest. Number 2, you stop enjoying things and having fun. You lose interest in everything else except work. You can't seem to enjoy anything because you can't stop thinking about work. Your mind is constantly on. You may be partying, you may be hanging out with friends, but you're thinking about how to close the prospect you met this morning. You're thinking about how to pitch this new deal to your client this week. You're never present. You're physically there, but you couldn't get your mind off of work. Well, the only way to overcome this is by being present in the moment. Stop worrying about work or the future, but allow yourself to fully immerse in the present. Appreciate every single moment. There's this verse from the Bible that says, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Indeed, there's a time for everything. When it's time to work, go all out and give your 100%. But once you get off from work, turn that switch off, stop worrying about anything related to work, and just be completely present in the moment regardless of whatever you're doing. Number 3, nothing else seems to matter that much anymore except work. And that may include your family or any of your relationships. And the irony of this is what seems less important to you now may be the exact reason why you're working so hard in the first place. Unfortunately, hustle culture has made you lose focus. It has gotten your priorities all messed up. You forgot why you even started in the first place. Well, we've seen a lot of people started out with that one goal, which is to provide for their loved ones and to spend more time with them. But the more they hustle, the less time they spend with their loved ones. They're too busy to attend to their needs. They're afraid that spending time for anything other than work will slow them down. If you're finding yourself in this situation right now, take a pause. Revisit the reasons why you even started hustling in the first place. Is it to provide for your loved ones, to spend more time with them, or to be able to do things you love? Whatever the reason is, it's important to constantly remind yourself of the reasons why you started in the first place. Once the why is clear, ask yourself, am I getting closer to achieving the why? Or am I getting further away from it? Then recalibrate yourself and sort out your priorities. Number 4, you're constantly comparing yourself with others. You feel ashamed of not running at the same pace as people around you. And it gets even worse when you scroll through social media. You see your peers bragging about how they pull an all-nighter to get a project done. You see your colleagues posting about how they're still meeting a prospect at 2 a.m. with #hustle. And you see this quote saying, "Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done." Seeing all this triggers self-doubt and inadequacy in you. It creates a sense of guilt and shame and immediately snatches you from all the rights to rest or do anything else other than work. It makes you feel obligated to keep grinding non-stop because that's what everyone else is doing. Indeed, the whole social media is glorifying and popularizing the hustle culture. However, it's important to know that not everything you see on social media is an accurate representation of the complete picture of someone else's life. Learn to compete with yourself and not others. Look where you were 1 year ago and compare it with yourself now. Give yourself a pat on the back and celebrate the new milestone you have achieved. And if you feel like social media is getting to you, try social media fast or limit the time you spend on it. Number 5, setting unrealistic goals. You're always trying to hit new goals, new records. You're never satisfied with your progress. You never settle for your achievement now. There's always more to achieve. There's no finish line. And everything becomes even worse when you compare yourself with others. There's always someone better than you. And when you compare yourself with them, instead of feeling motivated, you feel even more depressed and stressed out. Well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being ambitious. There's nothing wrong with setting goals that motivate you and push you forward. However, when your goals are unrealistic and completely unattainable, not only will it take a serious toll on your general well-being by putting you under a high amount of stress constantly, It will also shatter your confidence or even make you give up on your goals too early. Setting a goal is imperative to achieving success in life, but it's important to make sure that the goals we set are realistic. Try breaking down your goals into several milestones and celebrate every milestone you achieve along the way. It's a marathon and not a sprint after all. Now that we've covered the danger of hustle culture and signs you're trapped in it, do check out this playlist of our videos that cover other topics related to psychology and mental wellness. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on all these value-packed videos in psychology, communication, relationships, and so much more. See you in the next video. Bye!